Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne Williams with Back to Earth Creations, and in this video I want to show you how I do this style of wrap. The stones that I'm using are top drilled, or drilled side to side. I don't know, I keep hearing that term used interchangeably for either being drilled like this, where there's a hole coming front and back, but I'm using it in reference to this where it's side to side through there, if you can see. So I have two different shapes, but same style of drilling. I am using 12 inches of 18 gauge parawire. This is a copper cord enameled wire. Sorry, words are hard. But you could use whatever you like. The main thing that you want to watch out for is make sure it goes through your bead. I use the thickest wire that I can fit through. So typically that's an 18 gauge. Sometimes I have to, go step back to a 20, which is a little thinner. And sometimes I'm able to use a 16, which is really nice and substantial. So we're going to begin by, and this is just one of the infinite ways that a person could wrap stones, but just to get your creativity going. We're going to start by I'm using a makeup brush actually, that I use for putting chalk on polymer clay, but you could use a pen or a mandrel or whatever you like. And I'm just wrapping to make 2 full rotations around. And then I'm going to cross the wires like this on the underside, and then pinning it with my fingers. I'm going to twist at least once, though sometimes I do prefer to give it a second twist, and that way it's nice and secure. And this is going to be our bail that we would string a cord or a chain or what have you through. And well, I guess the end of my brush is a little fatter than the rest of it. And so now I'm going to insert the left side through our bead like this and bring it in. You can kind of estimate the distance from the hole to the center point of the top of our bead, and the more you wire wrap and kind of get the hang of it, the better results you'll get. So I'm just going to bend around, and we want that to line up with the center line, just like that. And so from here I'm going to bring this side down in the front, that way it kind of matches, and cinch it around like this on this wire that was going through the bead, and then bring it off to the side. And so from here I'm going to be working with 2 wires at once. I'm going to fold it across the back and bring it around the front. I'm going to bring it below that point, then across to there. And I'm going to wrap around. If this is the head and this is the body, I often refer to that part right there as the neck. We're going to wrap around the neck like a scarf, and then come down in front. And then I'm doing this motion where if I put my 2 fingers together and then twist both of them, almost like a itsy bitsy spider, but I'm doing that with the wire and the pendant and everything in between them. So I'm gripping quite firmly here, as well as my 2 tail wires, and then pinning my fingers, and it's holding the wire to the stone. You can see it's forcing that curve to happen right there. And so we can come around and do a few rotations. And if we have enough wire, we could wrap it around the neck a few times, like how I did here. Or you could just take it and use, what did I do with them? Some round nose pliers. And there they are. And grab the wire as close to the tip of the wire and as close to the tip of the pliers as what we can manage. If you get too close to the tip, you might have, where it like slides off, but just practice, you'll get there. And that's a good sign that you're nice and close to the tip. And I'm just gonna spiral that around, so we just have the one loop on this side. I'm gonna open this one up just a little bit more and bring this around. I don't know if y'all could hear that, but that's my cat Thud. Her name's Ember, but I call her Thud when she jumps off of anything because she's like got like 10 times gravity. And then I'm just using my bent nose pliers to smush that down nice and tight. And then I'm going to take it and just press with my fingers to get it to sit nice and snug. Just like that. And then it's personal preference, but I do like to come in and open that up just a bit. And there we have another pendant. Very simple, very fun. Like this is, you know, if I were to string like a chain or a cord or something through. But really duplicable, replicable, I don't know. But it does come out just a little different every time. So would be a great way to make some earrings. But I'm currently at the time of recording gearing up for Dragon Con. So I was going to wrap all of these beads in that same manner. And then to demonstrate how it would look on a different shaped bead, I'm going to come through and do that same thing again, but kind of quickly, just because I want to see how quick I can make one. So we're just wrapping, doing our 2 twists, pulling it off of our mandrel, going to feed through. Let's see, this one, the wire doesn't want to go through, so I'm going to set that bead aside. And I'll wrap it with a different gauge wire or find a different project for it. This one, it went through fantastically though. So in the straight-sided ones, you can see it's about 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to give myself just a little bit wiggle. And then bending up. There we are, nicely at that center line. Bringing this side down and wrapping it nice and tight. You can see here I'm using my finger to kind of just hold that in. Straightening out these wires. There will be links to all the different tools and materials listed down below, as well as a link to my recommended tools that I frequently use in the video description. So be sure to check that out. And those links are to affiliate links, so anything that you purchase through there is very helpful to my company. We currently don't qualify for international, but, you know, we'll get there one day. So coming around in the same fashion, bringing both around the front and then coming up. And to give myself a little bit more, instead of doing the wrap around the neck right at this point, I'm going to go ahead and do my finger pinch. I also don't know if you guys can hear the cicadas. Just wrapping around. And so now from here, we can take this and bend around the neck. And especially whenever the wires get kind of short, I like to, instead of using my fingers, just use my bent nose pliers, because they can hold with a lot less effort. And just, woo, bend that around. Use our flush cutters to get in there. Trim that little tip off, because I want to make sure that you could wear this on very sensitive skin or over like a knit top or something and not have to worry about any wires snagging. So again, coming in there, snip, and smoosh. So there we are. And again, that same technique, but on a differently sized and shaped bead. And again, you could make so many different modifications and variations of this, and I would love to see what you guys come up with, so feel free to check out the links to my social media down below. You can post things to my Facebook wall, my Patreon community board, as well as my Instagram. You can tag me, and that way I can see what you're up to. But I love, like, y'all constantly inspire me, and I love seeing what you guys, create. You're the cleverest bunch of crafters I've ever had the pleasure of working with. So thank you so much for spending your time with me. If you enjoy my free tutorials and you would like to support the creation of more of them, as well as, participate in my monthly craft crates and all the behind the scenes content that I try to post daily, be sure to check me out on Patreon, because y'all really make some big things happen for us over there. And thanks again though, y'all, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye.